Hi, welcome back to Repair Lawnmowers for Profit. As you can see on here, I've just agreed terms on Facebook Marketplace with a chap to pick up a lawnmower. I wanted £30 for this. It's a McCulloch Petrol lawnmower. No drive in it or anything like that, but let's just see if we can take a look at it. He was asking £30 for it, so, you know, being me, I offered him 20, and he didn't even come back and split the difference. He just said, £20. So I'm going to go and pick it up in a minute. So I just thought I'd show you the picture of it before we go and get it. There we go. As I said, no drive. It's unfortunately a plastic deck. What draws me to this is, I can't make the picture bigger, is it's got a Briggs and Stratton engine on it with a really easy to service carburetor. Once again, as I've said in so many videos, the air filter box is on backwards or the wrong way around, as I used to do in some of my really early videos. I've actually made that mistake. So I knew already he'd had a tinker with these springs, and if you read these things, it says McCulloch Petrol lawnmower, about 6 years old, oil changed every year, starts fine, but the throttle springs have worn, and only ones I've got, let's have another look, the only ones I've got are wrong size. I don't understand that. So when running, it's revving high, it's revving at high revs, so it does need a bit of looking at. Well, I don't understand really how the throttle springs could be worn. I mean, what is there to wear? You know, so I'm just going to get in my car, or my mower mobile as it's lovingly referred to. We'll go and pick this mower up, but it seems like nice easy fix. Just looks like one that wants the carburetor servicing, so we'll go and get that. Put my car keys. I actually said it was about 4 or 5 miles away. It turns out it was sort of 9-10 miles away, but it's not too far. It's only sort of 10-15 minutes really, so I'll go and pick it up and we'll take a look at what's worn on these springs. So let's go and pick this mower up. I've just pulled over actually to get some money out. I've got my video camera, I've got my cash. I've forgotten to take my parcel shelf out the back of the car, but never mind. I'm sure it'll fit in, it's only small. The reason I'm filming the video is, always make sure you've got a couple of adjustable spanners in your glove box as well. Then that way if you go out to pick a mower up and they haven't got the actual turn parts on the handles for actually folding the handles down. Sometimes people have just put a bolt through it and you want to be able to get those undone. So if you can find a couple of really cheap adjustable spanners and put them in your glove box, it just it can help you sometimes get out of a bit of a fix. So I've just got this mower and I've just pulled up down a street here, which people wonder what I'm doing, but there it is, there's the mower. But I just wanted to show you this before I got home. See these on the handle? They said they'd lost the handles. What was I just saying about the adjustable spanner? Luckily it all went in one go this time. You can see here he's put some really strange sort of springs on here, but anyway, £20 for a Briggs and Stratton petrol lawnmower. Got the box with it, and we'll take it back and we'll see what we can do with it. So here we are. It's a McCulloch 40 or 450 CP. It's actually got a Briggs and Stratton engine on. As I said, it's 148cc, which is a 450 series, basically, in all intents and purposes, the same as a 35 Classic. I'm just going to have a quick look at these springs. I'm not going to do too much on it today, 'cause it's getting a little bit late. But it's not a great screwdriver either. Let's just undo that. I just want to see which springs he's put on here. Let's have a quick look at this. I said this air filter box is facing the wrong way as well. I mean, just a point here. I don't have one of these for my... You saw my last videos, I don't have one of these for my lawnmower. I've got an air filter box here and a whole lawnmower for £20. I mean, these are probably £10-15. It's revving up and down, the usual suspect stuff. I mean, those springs that it's put on, I mean, I don't know, but there's a problem. There's a problem here. This linkage here, see, this spring's way too tight. They're no good whatsoever, so it's going to want some governor springs on it. I can tell he's been in it, first of all because he's told me, but secondly obviously by the springs. I mean, this breather pipe's not on correctly here either, that was pushing down a little bit more. But this governor flap assembly here is way too tight. This whole thing should just, see this triangular part, I never know what that's called, but that should spring about and find a balance in the middle. And he's obviously tried to compensate for what probably wants servicing is a diaphragm and gasket in here as usual, and we can do that. And he said that I've been cutting my grass with it and I've feathered the throttle. On here there's a lever and that just operates the kill switch, so it's basically been letting it die and then sort of firing it up last minute to get the grass cut. And I suspect this just wants servicing up. Simple, you know, 5-10 minute job, a diaphragm and gasket in it. It's not, you know, it's not really particularly a lawnmower I would buy. I don't like plastic decks. There's no height adjusters on this whatsoever, but it does have a decent engine on. It's very, very simple to work on, and it would be great to start on. It's got the blades all intact on the bottom and everything's looking okay there. It's not ideally what I would buy, but for £20, I mean, even if it didn't work ever, I would have a petrol tank, a carburettor, all the linkages here apart from the springs, governor flap assembly, kill switch, ignition coil, recoil, you know, there's all these things, air filter box. There's so many things I could sell for spares or keep for myself. So I'll fire this up before I do anything. It's quite late now. I'll do it in the morning, but before I do any work on this at all, I'll just fire it up and just see exactly how it's running before we make a start at servicing this. But I can tell, but just by moving it, you know, it's taking all the strain out my finger to move that backwards and forwards, and yeah, they won't be staying on for very long. Now this may make you laugh, because this is probably the worst lawnmower in the history of my eBay searching. This is an absolute dog. I mean, look at that. That's the worst lawnmower ever. I mean, there's no handle, it's never going to run, it's absolutely gone. But under this air filter box, which is probably worth about £10, there's spring linkages, and there's all the little bits I can take off it. So rather than pay £5-6 for these governor springs that I'm going to have to buy for this mower, I'm actually going to buy this. Now, I know what you're thinking, you know, he's lost his mind. But if I can get that for a £5, and it's really, really local as well, it's like, I can get that, I can get those governor springs and any other spare part I want off that lawnmower for £5, and that will still be cheaper than buying 2 springs for here. So I just got my phone out of my pocket, had a quick look on eBay. The cheapest I could find was £4.28 for one spring and £2.25 for another. So that's, you know, £6.50, £6.60. I can get a full lawnmower with no handle for a £5 currently, if I win it for a £5. But I mean, let's be honest, which other idiot's going to bid on that apart from me? I'm actually quite excited about getting that lawnmower with no handle, because I'm going to try and get it running just for fun, just to have a bit of a laugh and try and film a video. Because I reckon, even with no handle on it and anything like that, I reckon we're going to try and get that running. But I want it for the springs. As I said, we'll have a look at this tomorrow. Everything else looks okay. Let's try and pull this off. Oh yeah, that fits okay. I just want to make a note of this. You see these different plug caps here that go over these ones in here? If you can't get it running, you're real desperate, you've tried everything else, just take a look in here at the connection. Because these wider ones here, I once bought a McCulloch one, it's probably on the channel actually. Yeah, it was a new McCulloch one. It was like a black deck. It was a brand new one from B&Q, probably 2016 model or something like that. And the only problem was that this had snapped in here, so when you pushed it on, it felt like it clicked on, but it didn't. And I actually replaced it for a different ignition coil, and it was perfect. It was like £350 of lawnmower. So if you've got one with this wider fitting on here, just take a look if you're having a problem. Because these ones with these plastic covers on here, I mean, I don't know the full history of Briggs and Stratton, but I think it's when they've moved them from manufacturing plants. I think they moved one of them over to China or Japan or somewhere like that from the original plant, and they basically just seem a little bit cheaper. You can see it's all just a bit flimsy in it. It's still got the stickers on, but I mean, even that's not on right, is it? I mean, look, it's just a bit, you know, not quite as good. But luckily the carburetor and the tank's exactly the same, all the servicing is the same, and we can put this back together in no time. I think we'll actually have this running and fixed and up and ready to sell within less than 10-15 minutes. Are we going?
Yeah.
Right, so we've got this out here, but I've just checked the blades on alright underneath. But just seeing these springs, haven't we? So I'm going to try and fire it up, but it's going to run flat out. And the reason is this part. Walk over here, mate, I'm going to show you. See where this governor spring is here? You see that, David? Yeah. That's too tight, it's pulling it back. And if it pulls it all the way back there, it'll just rev really, really high. So you stand up and take a step back and try and start this up, and I'll just show you what it'll do. This is if the governor can't find a centre. So that's obviously no good, is it?
No,
yeah, right.
it's not.
Right. So what do you think we're going to do? Take these springs off?
Yeah.
Right, go on then. So I'll take this spring off because I think it's this one that's under most tension here. Let's just take this off here and see what we get. I'm not sure I've got any governor springs, and as I've said in the last video series when I serviced my own lawnmower, this is why I take bits off. I don't like taking governor springs off my own lawnmower, because once you take them off it tends to bend them all. I don't really want to be doing that. Let's see if I can get this off here. Let's take that off. So let's just see if that moves free. Yeah, the other one's really tight as well. I don't want these on, they're not correct, they're nowhere near right. I've got these off now, and this linkage looks wrong to me. I'm not sure if it's on backwards way around as if he's taking the carburettor off, but even the linkage looks upside down. I'll take a look at mine in a minute, but I'm sure that's wrong. In fact, you just stop video and you see how that hook's there? Can you see that hook? Now that's up there like that. Can you see this bit? Can you see it? In the video, can you see it? Can't you tell we're outside, aren't we? It's a bit bright on the screen. See, this hook's at the top, and I'm sure that's the wrong way on, so I think what we'll have to do is take this carburettor off, and we'll put that back right first.